대박. 엄청 노려보고 있었어. 어머나 세상에나. 어머나 세상에나. 돌아온 햄튜브.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes.
말을 안 하는데?
Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry. Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
왜 몰라 그걸?
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right.
우리 집인가?
Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this
이 집안 사람들은
hydrological
말을 왜
cycle.
이렇게 다 어렵게 하니?
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And
Nature.
you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener.
네가 죽였지. 진술. 오케이, 진술을 들어봅시다.
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human.
인간의 것이 아니었대.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up
We?
there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that?
파피?
Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
인간의
Flora
것이
was there
아니었다고?
too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone
진술이
square.
일치하네요.
When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent. She
Sure.
questioned me,
About what?
my work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
어머. 의미심장한 말을 왜 이렇게 많이 하지?
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One
이렇게
of my
옷이
jobs is
파졌냐?
to protect plants from things that might eat them. To protect
프레야가
Freya brought me this little
곤충한테
glass
관심이
box,
많았나 봐.
leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, "Put all the troublemakers in there."
근데
Every day I'd put a handful of
곤충에
beetles and
관한
other things in the
서적은
box.
비어있다 그러지
Then she'd
않았나?
come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind. Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
피피가 얘 안 좋아한대. 편지.
How odd.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding
보이기는
anything at all
한데.
when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else. When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
뭐지?
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
파피를 막
They
꼭
were arguing
만나야겠다.
about something, but
파피가
I
할 말이
can't remember the
많겠는데?
details. Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me.
여기 뭐 이런 거 있죠?
A little chart of... Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
이게 뭐야? 엉덩이? 이거는 뭐야? 눈? 이거는 엉덩이. 알파, 베타 그런 거 아니야? 엉덩이? 뽕알?
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
파피방이 이건가? 아 파피래. 피츠. 아 여기 파피방이다. 헉, 파피. 오씨. 어머.
Are you a ghost?
Sally, that's rude.
Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
살아있대.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect,
실망했어.
I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer and a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days, especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
Two of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people
셋이
ever
동갑내기였구나.
leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question.
얘는 다
I'd like to move
독립시키지.
away, definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi, things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon.
빛정아?
And we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to
인간의
describe
소리가
it,
아닌 것 같다
but
그랬잖아요.
I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying
어떻게
on
죽은
the
거지
floor.
도대체? 축은기가 깨지는
I
소린가?
think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. Didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could
울고
see she'd already
있었대. 파피가 안
been
와서.
I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower.
다들
Then Felix arrived.
시끄러워서 나왔나?
He had Penny with him.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style,
맞아.
is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
이 테이프를 피피한테 물어봤을 때 그냥 계속 웃기만 했거든요. 하하하 이러면서 걔가 줬나? 다
When
물어봐야겠죠?
I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
칼을 이렇게
You don't think
들고
that
있는 것도?
anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock.
기타를 들고 있는 것 같단
I'm
말이야.
just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on
초상화에
an
누가 칼을
important
그려,
clue.
그죠?
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how
나폴레옹도
it's a
아니고.
clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangletower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird. There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
자의로 그랬다? 수직으로 들어갈 수가 있나? 다른 사람이 찔렀을 때? 키가 똑같은 사람인가? 아니면은 지가 이렇게 한 거 아니야? 김전일의 그런 에피소드 있잖아요. 살에 무기가 없는데 얼음으로 죽인 거. 그런 거 아니야?
말도 안 되는 소리 하지 마세요.
아님
Living
말고.
in.
It was all built by the Remington family. Flora's a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the fellows and the pointers own the house now?
Flora
복잡스럽구만.
owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
과학수사대 불러. 아유.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
여기가 파피 베드룸 아니었어? 아, 여기 음악실이었구나. 아, 몰랐네.
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist.
나보다 어려?
Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought it was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I would have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So, what's your problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a
뭐?
knife.
뭐라고? 저런 사실을 말을 하지 않다니.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood.
이것 또한 필해.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring.
예.
Name, Haksha. Age, unknown.
학샤.
Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.